Hi, if you're just joining us, this is the Alliance for Workforce Development Rapid Response Worker Assistance webinar. We're going to give it a few minutes to allow all the participants to get logged in. So thank you for joining us. Sit tight and we'll start in just a few minutes. Hi, if you're just joining us, this is the Alliance for Workforce Development Rapid Response Worker Assistance webinar. We appreciate you joining us today. We're going to hold off just a few minutes to allow everyone to get logged in. We appreciate you being here, and just sit tight and we'll get started. We're going to give it just a few more minutes to, maybe just another minute or two, to allow everyone to get logged in. Okay, we will go ahead and get started. Anyone that logs in late can just go ahead and catch up, I'm sure. My name is Gary Besser. I'm a business service supervisor with the Alliance for Workforce Development, Nevada County. This is the Alliance for Workforce Development Rapid Response Worker Assistance webinar. Just a few bits of housekeeping that I want to cover with you first. We will be taking questions today. So if you have any questions, there's a chat feature here in Zoom. If you're on a PC, you'll want to go to the top of your screen and you'll see an icon that says Q&A. It looks like a messenger or a text message icon. You can press that and that will send a question out to all the panelists that are presenting here today with information. Or you can go over to the More or Chat button if you have one, but if you don't have the chat button featured, go to More, press Chat. That'll send your question out to everyone attending the webinar, all panelists and all attendees. So you can feel free to ask us a question at any point using either of those features. If you're on a mobile device, cell phone, Usually at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat or Q&A icon. Just press that and type your question again. Again, chat goes out to everybody, all attendees and all panelists. The Q&A will just go to the panelists. It might be hidden on your phone screen depending on what kind of device you're using. So if you move your thumb down to the top or the bottom of your window, you'll see that chat icon. Feel free to ask a question whenever you like. We'll stop intermittently and answer those questions. And then at the end of the webinar, we'll provide ample time to answer questions. So this is the Nevada County Alliance for Workforce Development. We're your local workforce development one-stop provider. We have 2 locations in Nevada County, one in Grass Valley at 988 McCourtney Road. That's in the Brighton Greens Resource Building. And in Truckee at 10075 Levon Avenue, Suite 105. That's the Joseph Government Center. We're there in Truckee Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. normally. Of course, during the lockdown period for COVID-19, our offices are closed to the public, but we are available by phone at 530-265-7088 in Grass Valley, 530-550-3015 in Truckee. You can speak with Kate Abbott, our career advisor, or myself in business services. Kate's available at extension 2633. I am available at extension 7108. Then another great way to get a hold of us is with our dedicated COVID-19 email line. That's COVID-19customer@ncen.org. I just want to stop and say you're going to get a lot of information today, a lot of contact information, a lot of general information about services that are available to you. We will be sending an email out after this webinar that's going to supply you with all this information over again. Or if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat feature and reach out to us. We can go back over something. But we will be sending an email out with all this information after the webinar. So please check your email. So with that, I'd like to go over a little bit of what we're going to cover today. We're here to provide a rapid response service. Rapid response is a program that as a workforce agency we offer, usually in person at the work site, but with the COVID-19 situation, we're providing it virtually. Today, we're going to be providing you with local assistance programs from Nevada County. We have some guests from Nevada County here today that are going to talk about CalFresh, Medi-Cal, CalWorks, and other services available through the county. We're going to go over some of the specifics of the EDD application processes, provide you with information on that, provide you with some general financial tips. And then finally, we're going to provide you with services available from us, from Alliance for Workforce Development. Temporary jobs, job opportunities, training opportunities, a wealth of resources to help you get back to work. So we'll cover that today. At the end of the webinar, we're going to put up a poll. We really appreciate your responses. That helps us kind of tailor these presentations to the information that you're most looking for. So please take a few minutes at the end of the presentation to answer our poll when I put it up. And then, as I've said before, we will be supplying time at the end of the presentation to answer any wrap-up questions that you may have. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to Kristen and Brittany from Nevada County, who are going to talk about the wealth of services that are available from Nevada County for workers affected by COVID-19.
Thank you. My name is Kristen Plant, and I am a supervisor with Nevada County Social Services, and Brittany is also a supervisor with Nevada County. We offer some public assistance programs, starting with CalFresh, which is our food assistance program. Medi-Cal, it is our health insurance program. CalWorks is a cash assistance program for families with children. And then we have a general relief or general assistance program, and that is a loan program for single adults or married adults who don't have children. So that one is a loan program. All of the other programs, or the CalFresh and CalWorks program, they're not loans. They're just assistance to help people with food and help pay the bills, keep your lights on, things like that. And then we don't actually administer the WIC program through social services, but the WIC program is in our offices at Brighton Green, so they are a shared partner with us. They do have some special things happening in their department as well, and I'll share with that about that in a little bit. But I let you guys know about the CalFresh Medi-Cal, CalWorks, how to apply for the program. There's a couple different ways that you can apply. You could come into the Root Center, but we are still trying to do some social distancing. So we really would like people to apply online through cforyourself.com. That is the letter C, the number 4, and the word yourself.com. You can apply for all programs that way. If you were to apply for the general assistance, you will see it as CalWorks on that website, but we are still accepting those applications for general relief through it. So just use the cash assistance one if you're applying for general relief. We also can accept applications through or CalFresh applications if we're wanting to apply for CalFresh only, and that would be through getcalfresh.org. That's just another avenue for getting an application. Also, we accept applications through mail, or you could call in and we could assist you over the phone with an application. And over the phone, you'd want to call us at 265-7213. With the COVID information things happening, the state has given us a couple waivers, and those things that they're allowing us to do is grant cases if we have all the information and waiving the interview. So if you are to apply online, we ask that you fill out your application as completely as possible, and then provide us your ID and income verification from the last 30 days. So that would help us process things quicker. But we are turning around our applications pretty quickly right now. If you have an application with us and you're curious about what's happening with it, you are welcome to also call us at the 265-7213 number. And with that, I want to hand it over to Brittany so that she can tell you guys a little bit about the supportive services with our CalWorks unit, and then also some special things that are in place for cases that are ongoing.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you for having us this morning. We're really excited to share our various resources. So the CalWorks Supportive Services Program is a program you may hear referred to as Welfare to Work. So we have essentially, job search help for folks that maybe, were laid off or other things that happened. We do coordinate, of course, with our partners here today for job search. We do have, certain things we can pay for to help our folks, become more self-sufficient, or if there's barriers to, different things in their life, like utility bills and things like that, we can sometimes help with those costs. So those are definitely resources available if you're being aided on the CalWorks program. Also, as far as other resources, we have, I'm going to pull up some of my notes here, for homeless families. You actually can be eligible for up to 48 days in total. Not all families are eligible for that 48 days, but basically we have a few different sets of resources available. So we have 16 days of regular homeless assistance, which can be granted at one time. We can also grant an additional 16 days of homeless if the homeless was caused specifically by COVID-19. We also have an additional 16 days of exception homeless, which can be granted if the household meets certain criteria, including sometimes inability to stay in that residence or some types of illnesses. So, if you're a homeless family or you're potentially afraid of that, please do apply. And what we always say here, and Kristen, I think, will agree that, if you're not sure if you should apply, please do so. There's lots of, strange little regulations and things where you may be eligible to many services, but you won't know until you actually apply for that program, and we can assess your situation individually. Also, I'd like to just point out that right now, we just got word that the state has allowed anyone who is not receiving the maximum benefits in the month for CalFresh for the month of May will be brought up to that maximum amount. So if you are receiving, CalFresh, but maybe you have income or there's some deduction off there, the state is going to go ahead and issue a full month allotment for you in May. and that's going to actually take place in early June, but it will be for the month of May. Also, I'd like to just point out, if you are currently on aid or thinking about it, reporting is waived for March, April, and May, but it will begin again for households beginning in June. There's been some confusion if things will resume, and as far as we know right now, we will resume reporting responsibilities for our folks in June. So with that, I'm going to pass this back to Kristen. She's going to talk about some other programs and assistance to share today.
So I mentioned earlier the WIC program, because the WIC program isn't quite under our umbrella. I did reach out to them to ask what we could share about their programs, and they said that during this time they are accepting phone appointments, so they could be reached. And I think that you guys will send out the phone numbers for us later, but if somebody wanted to jot it down right now, the office in Western County is 265-1454, and the office up in Truckee is 582-7814. And one of the things that they have special going on with COVID, other than phone appointments, is they also have an expanded food list in case grocery stores are having low inventory. We also wanted to share about pandemic EBT. We talked a little bit about that last time we were here, but just an update. The pandemic EBT is a special food assistance card that's going out to families who have children in the reduced lunch program or the free lunch program. And they automatically were going to start sending out those cards to families who were already enrolled in those programs before COVID and when the schools closed. And they started mailing out those EBT cards already. So they're going to look different than the normal CalFresh EBT card. They're a little white card with an apple on it. That will be going out to homes for kids who are already signed up in the programs, and they're being mailed out now. If families have not received it by May 20th, then at that time, they're encouraging people to apply online. And so, or if you didn't have your child on the free or reduced lunch program, but then started getting CalFresh later and you don't get the card in the mail by the 22nd, then you can apply online, and we'll send you guys out this or the website, but it's ca.p-ebt.org. And they're going to be accepting applications from May 22nd through June 30th. And if people are eligible, they'll get the card sent out to them then. Most families will get $365 per child put on that card. But if you weren't eligible at the time of the pandemic and are newly eligible, there may be it may be a lesser amount based off when you were eligible. The cards will come in the name of the oldest child in the household, and all of the children in the household, if there's multiple children, they will all be given the allotment on the same card. And then one other thing that's really exciting that I want to share is that you can now use CalFresh EBT online for shopping for food through Walmart and Amazon. So that's one other thing that the state has put in place, and that's going to be ongoing. That's not just during COVID. So and my understanding is that if anybody spends more than $35 on food from Amazon, then the shipping will be free. But if it's only food being bought from Walmart, there's apparently a shipping fee. So just keep that in mind. And we're open for any questions you guys might have.
Kristen and Brittany, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here today. I just want to reiterate that all the information you just heard regarding county services, state EBT, the See For Yourself website, and the numbers in East and West County to call, all of that will be available to you in our follow-up email. So you will be receiving more information on that, along with the pandemic EBT information, so that you will be receiving a follow-up. No questions so far. That's exciting to hear about the ability to shop online for food. That's a major for a lot of people. So we really appreciate that information. So unless we have any further questions, which I'm not seeing, I'm going to turn things over to Kate Abbott, our AFWD Career Advisor.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I don't know if you had heard me, but I'm Kate, the career advisor in the Grass Valley office. And we're going to quickly go over the Unemployment Development Department Benefit Guide and hopefully get some of your questions answered. Next slide. So there's 3 different ways to file for unemployment. The most preferred way is online and then via phone. There's also a paper process. If you're going to call to file for your claim, you will need to be patient. You'll call the phone number provided below, the 800-300-5616. You'll follow the options, the prompts and the options there, and you will open your claim there. They do prefer the online option. Phone would be the second one, and then paper. You can pick up paper applications here in our office if you need to. We can arrange for you to come and pick one up. We could also mail one out if that is an option for you. They're not suggesting you do that at all unless it's the absolute only way you can do it. There's just no way to track them, and some applications could get pushed to the back and it could slow down the process. So if you do need assistance with filing for that claim, either online or over the phone, you can call us. We can help you through the process if you need to at our phone number that we provided at the beginning of the presentation. And one of the staff members here would happily help you with that. Next slide. So pandemic unemployment assistance is a newly available emergency unemployment funding that's through the Federal CARES Act, and it's giving people who weren't necessarily eligible for regular unemployment availability for unemployment. So people that are covered were independent contractors, self-employed people, individuals without sufficient income or work history, I'm sorry, people that have exhausted their original unemployment benefits. These benefit amounts will be a minimum of $167 a week, but that weekly amount may vary depending on your proof of prior earnings. Then there's also the additional $600 for the weeks between March 29th to July 25th. These benefits, they could be retroactive to February 2nd, depending on the last day you worked due to the COVID-19, and they could be available to you up to 29 weeks. That last week would be ending in December 29th. Next slide. In order for, the pandemic unemployment payments and when to file. So in order for the benefits to be provided as quickly as possible, they're going to roll the payments out in phases. Your initial payments will roll out in the phases as below. Phase 1 starting with the $167 per week. If you were unemployed from February 2nd to March 28th due to the COVID-19 related reasons. Phase 2 will be the $167 a week plus the $600 a week for each week you were unemployed from March 29th due to COVID-related reasons. And the third phase would be the $167 a week for each week from July 26th to December 26th that you're unemployed because of the COVID-related reasons. And it is for a total of up to 39 weeks. An additional $600 will be added to each PUA weekly benefit amount as part of a separate CARES Act for the pandemic and additional compensation program. And benefits can be, again, like I said, retroactive to the week starting February 2nd. But note, if you do qualify for your claim to be backdated to an earlier pandemic unemployment assistance effective date based on your last day work, you could receive payment for prior weeks due to the COVID-19. Next slide. So in order to file for your claim, you're going to need to gather some information before you get online or you pick up the phone. Make sure that you have all of that information readily available, just to to avoid any delays. Just your personal information, of course, employment authorization documents if you're not a U.S. citizen, and your employment history for the last 18 months, the names and addresses of employers, just that basic information, and the reason why each job ended. Next slide. Excuse me. So you'll have to, first step, you'll have to register for a EDD benefit program online account. You'll do that by going to edd.ca.gov, and you'll select the registration button. You'll just go ahead and go through the terms and conditions, put in all of your information, answer it as close to true and accurate as possible. Once you've done that, you'll be prompted to create passwords and select a personal image so that you can access your account. After you've registered, you're going to receive an email with your to complete your process. It's a time-sensitive email, so within 48 hours you will have to respond to that. If you don't see it come through to directly to your regular email, you should check your junk or your spam, just in case it does get directed there. Next slide. Oh, thank you, Gary. After you've registered, you're going to have to file and certify. So once you file your claim, again, you'll do that from your account at the EDD website. You'll go to UI online to get started. You'll select file a claim, read the filing claim instructions, and select next to continue. You're just going to go ahead and verify all of your information once you get to the summary page, and it's really important that that information be accurate so that when you go in to certify for your benefits, the information, when you go in to certify for your benefits, you'll have to provide that information. So if what you're providing doesn't match what you had provided earlier, you won't be able to log in and you'll get timed out. You'll have to contact to reset your passwords. So we recommend that you do write down all of your passwords and your security questions and keep those somewhere in a safe space so that you can have access to them just in case you forget. So then you'll certify for your benefits. In the past, people have certified through the mail, which is fine. We do recommend that you do it online though. So you will again go to UI online and start from the registration. You'll need to provide all of your claim information, your first and last name as it appears on the claim, and your date of birth and your social security information, and your EDD account number. So if you are new to unemployment and you haven't filed a claim before or registered an account, that information might not come to you via email. It might come to you in the mail. So you might not be able to certify for your claim until you get that information. So keep your eyes open for any mail that you might be receiving from unemployment. Next slide. Once you've registered, once you've registered and filed your claim and certified, you will have to go to the CalJobs website and register with CalJobs. CalJobs is a great website for job seekers. You can upload your resume, you can create resumes there. It has a list of all California job listings. This is a state website. It also has a list to the ETPL. The ETPL is a list of training programs that are WIOA approved and EDD approved, so that you can qualify for CTB or trainings that would qualify for CTB benefits. These are California training benefits, and the California training benefits are benefits that may be extended to you if you are receiving unemployment to partake in trainings that could better your career, add to your career, and get you into a position that you might not have qualified for before. In order to receive these CTBs, you will have to notify EDD that you are interested in training before your 16th week of payments. So if you do apply for unemployment and you think that you might be interested in pursuing new trainings or classroom trainings, we recommend that you notify your worker through EDD as soon as possible so that they can flag your account for this. And if you are approved and the courses you've selected are approved, you may be able to receive an extension on your benefits and may be exempt for some job search requirements through EDD as well. Next slide. EDD also offers extensive services for veterans. Veterans are always priority of services. EDD works with and assists veterans and their spouses to maximize your employment and training opportunities. Veterans are entitled to many resources designed to help in your search for employment. We can also refer you to certain resources for veterans, like the local EDD veterans representative that does work in our office. We could put in referrals for you there. We could also put in a referral to the local vet service representative here at in the county. Below is a list of other resources that might be available to you if you are a veteran and looking for services through unemployment. Next slide. Oh, I'm sorry, next slide, Gary. So there's tons of information right now regarding unemployment, and it's constantly changing. Below are several links that you can access to get information on status updates on your claims. You can also visit edd.ca.gov about EDD coronavirus. The things are changing so frequently and rapidly that we do recommend you check in here for updates about your claims. And you can also visit the Labor Workforce Development Agency's websites for any information as well. And next slide.
And I'm going to take a quick break here to see if we have any questions. Looks like nothing from our participants as of yet, but I had a quick question for you, Kate, actually. If an individual was interested in one of those CTB benefits programs through EDD, could they call our office to find out more about what kinds of training programs are available, or maybe what are some growing sectors in Nevada County, to consider getting into?
Absolutely, and we could go onto the CalJobs site together and we could look at the labor market information, because that information is also listed on CalJobs websites. And I could also help them with navigating the different types of programs that are approved through EDD, as well as the WIOA programs.
Great.
That we'll go into a little bit more.
If you were in a position where training or exploring career alternatives might be, something you think is a good idea for you, the Alliance for Workforce Development, Kate, is a good resource to kind of talk about what's out there, what's a growing sector, what's an interesting thing to get into, what are locally available training programs. I just want to throw out a quick reminder. That was a lot of information. This information will be resent to you in that follow-up email that I keep talking about. So you'll get phone numbers, links, contact information, and a summary of everything we've talked about today in that follow-up email. So please keep an eye on your email. I feel like watching your email and watching in the mail is a common thread today. And another common thread that we've heard both from our county guests and from Kate regarding EDD is, when in doubt, apply. If you're not sure if you qualify for benefits, apply. If you applied for benefits prior to April 28th, unemployment benefits, and were denied, please apply again, because the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance is a different program and it's worth your while to reapply. So when in doubt, apply. So now I just want to share a few other bits of information, just some tips and reminders. That's a good segue. When in doubt, apply. Apply for your UI and PUA benefits. Apply for county social service benefits. We heard firsthand from Kristen and Brittany, you know, if you're unsure if you qualify, apply. And we're going to provide contact information and websites, again, in that follow-up email after the webinar. Couple other things to keep in mind, the early withdrawal penalty for cashing in part or all of your retirement plan, the tax penalty has been waived for COVID-19 related distributions. Of course, you'll want to talk with a financial advisor before making that financial decision. If you don't have a financial advisor, the HR representative for the company that offers your 401k or 457B or whatever it is would be another good resource to talk to about the feasibility and everything of cashing in your retirement. Student loan repayments have been suspended for 180 days from the passage of the act. So please contact your student loan provider if you're paying on a student loan, because those payments may be suspended for you. Many mortgage companies are also suspending payments. Please contact the bank that holds your mortgage to see if there's any assistance about reduced payments or suspended payments if you find yourself out of work. And many utility companies are also suspending late fees or disconnection to services during this time. So contact your utility company directly for more help and information. Also in relation to utility companies, there's a lot of financial programs available right now through a wealth of utility companies. PG&E offers the CARE program, which is a 20% discount on your PG&E bill. And many phone, utility, and other service providers are offering discounts and late payment waivers. So with that, I'm going to turn things back to Kate, who's going to give us some detailed information about what we do in the AFWD office and how we can help you.
Sorry, keep muting. So we do offer a lot of services here. America's Job Centers of California and the Alliance for Workforce Development Department. We are a nonprofit corporation, and we're located in our local business and career network centers. Again, like Gary said, in the Brighton Greens building on McCourtney Road in Grass Valley and the Joseph Government Center on Levon Street in Truckee. We're a service provider for the Northern Rural Training and Employment Consortium, and we provide WIOA services. That's the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act services for adults, dislocated workers, and also a youth program. Next slide. There's many ways that we help job seekers. The Alliance for Workforce Development Department, we offer people seeking employment or training services, many different services, such as job seeking services, resume writing services. We have job readiness workshops. We also offer one-on-one career guidance and counseling. There's basic supportive services that you may be eligible for. There's so many different services. If you're interested in finding out anything about these, feel free to reach out to me and we can have a meeting to discuss any of these options that you might be interested in. Also keep in mind that these services are completely free and available to you with at free of charge. Next slide. Currently, due to COVID-19, there's special programs that you may be eligible to offer assistance. We have a supportive service assistance available right now that you might be eligible for cash assistance, or not cash assistance, but money up to $800 to help out with things like work attire, training program, or I'm sorry, not rent payments, tools, transportation, and other things. There's also temporary work that has been created and placements with local or nonprofit agencies to help you gain additional skills. Most of these positions are related to helping out with the relief efforts from COVID-19 impacts. So with local agencies on helping with the reopening efforts to get our community back up and running. These services, that there is limited availability. So if this is something you might be interested in, reach out as soon as possible so we can discuss these to see how we can help you with these special programs. Next slide. As I said earlier, there were temporary jobs. So there's internships. We call them work experiences or temporary workplace placements. These are great opportunities for people to gain skills and also income while you're in that transition space between not working at your normal job before it opens back up and you can get back in, or just during a shift until you find that long-term upward mobility employment. So they're great because it's great. You get your hands-on experience while getting paid. They're 100% paid internships. So like I said, you are being paid during this time. It gives you a lot of new hands-on skills and trainings that you can take into a new field. Next slide. We also offer OJTs, and I think Gary wanted to speak a little bit about the on-the-job trainings.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. And still no questions from the peanut gallery. I want to remind everybody that if you have any questions, you can feel free to use the chat feature and run that by us. And I had kind of a question for you, Kate. With those work experience opportunities, it's my understanding that Nevada County actually is offering some spots for our clients to do work experience for. Isn't that correct?
Yes, Gary, we do currently have several positions available with Nevada County, working directly with their facilities department on sanitation efforts to get things back up and open. And then also with the hospitality house, they're really needing help because of the new social distancing guidelines that have been put in place. They're having to operate in different format than they normally would. So they're really needing assistance on getting that up and running to reach out and help that homelessness and food supportive services with them. So if you're interested in any of those positions, you can contact myself or Gary. Either one of us have information on that, but I would be able to assist you in placement on those work sites.
So those are great opportunities to earn a good temporary wage, gain some valuable experience with, great reputable employers, and maybe most importantly, help out your community. You'll be doing work that's good for the community. So next I want to talk a little bit about the on-the-job training program. So I'm in business services in Nevada County for Alliance for Workforce Development. And what that means is that I network with hundreds of local employers every day who are looking for talent, everything from entry level to executive. And they work with us to try to cultivate that talent out of the local community. So local Nevada County job seekers who can fill their positions. In order to incentivize employers to choose from our applicant pool, which is any resident of Nevada County, we can offer an OJT, which is a subsidized wage program whereby we pay the employer part of your wage in order to compensate them for giving you training to help you enter into the field. So an example could be, let's say that you have some experience working as an electrician's apprentice, and you were to see one of our open positions on our website for a journey level electrician. And let's say that you were just maybe 150 or 200 hours away from being considered a journey level electrician. we could incentivize an employer to give you a shot and give you that little bit of additional training by paying part of your wages for them to bring you on in a training program, monitor your skills progression along with our career advisor, and it turns into a permanent job with upward mobility. So generally the training programs are anywhere from 1 to 6 months. The idea is to give you, the job seeker, a chance to gain the skills that you need to enter into that upwardly mobile job market. I think we're all familiar with looking through the help wanted ads and it says, you know, need 6 months of experience to apply. But how do you get that 6 months of experience? That's exactly what the OJT program is designed to mitigate. So we work with just literally hundreds of employers in Nevada County. We help them post their positions, and the individuals that the resumes they expect us to give over to them are resumes from individuals just like you. On the front end of that, we can help you create that resume. We can help you market yourself as a job seeker. We can help you explore your career interests, and we can even help you get basic certifications to prove your skills, like typing tests or Excel skills tests or basic math tests and things like that through our IBM Connexa program. So if you have any questions about the OJT opportunities and the hundreds of job openings that we have available in Nevada County right now, please contact either myself or Kate, or reach out to us via the email address covid19customer@ncen.org, and we can give you a line directly to those employers. It's a scary time, things have slowed down, but there are employers in Nevada County that are currently hiring, and we have those leads. So with that, I'm going to turn things back over.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. So yeah, other than the OJT, there's several other different types of training programs that WIOA funds would assist with. Each year we put hundreds of people into training programs. Training programs are great because if you might not necessarily be ready to commit to going back to school full-time to get your degree, you can get these trainings that you get recognized credentials from in a certain occupational field. And some of these are, like I said, on the ETPL, and we can discuss the different types that you might be interested in to see what type of funding may be available for assistance on that. If you have a specific goal in mind, we can also go over those and see what type of training would be available to help you reach those goals. But with those two things together, it will help get you into a position of long-term employment. And at any time, feel free to reach out with questions regarding these training programs, funding available, and also just I can assist with doing career assessments to see exactly what field it is that you might be able or interested in, and then we can explore training options to get you into that career path together. And that's all for that side, Gary.
Okay, so been a lot of information today. You're probably wondering, what are the next steps? Well, first of all, we really appreciate it if you could complete the poll that we're going to put up here in just a second. Please check your email within the next 24 hours, because you will be receiving a link that's going to provide all of the information that we've gone over today, contact information, phone numbers, emails, as well as the actual information that we've provided in our slideshow today. If you'd like to get examples of some of those jobs that we talk about in our OJT program, please visit nortechjobs.org. It is the single best resource, the best website out there to find out jobs that are local in your community. And these are jobs with employers that we have a relationship with that we can introduce you to. You can reach out to us by a variety of methods. By phone, we're going to re-provide those phone numbers to you. in that follow-up email. We're on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. We have a website chat feature. If you go to afwd.org, there's a chat feature in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That's manned Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. You'll talk to a live AFWD staff member who can answer your questions. And you can always email at us at our dedicated COVID-19 recovery email, covid19customer@ncen.org. So I'm going to put up our poll, and we really appreciate your answering these questions. So if you'd please just take a few minutes. And I don't see any more questions from our chat feature, but we did get a comment for all of our panelists today. Thank you for the information. And someone mentioned how excited they are to help get Nevada County back going again. And so we appreciate it. So thank you all for your time. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to get these poll questions answered. And with that, I'm going to cut out the video. Please stay tuned to your email. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Kate, and we can provide you with direct resources or a referral to one of the resources that we talked about today.